Hi my sweet people, today's video is on Oreo cheesecake, and if you want to know more, just keep on watching. The things you'll need will be cream cheese, heavy cream, flour, salt, Oreos, sugar, butter, eggs, vanilla essence. You'll need to crush these Oreos, so you have to remove the fillings first before crushing them, and you have a food processor, will be easier, so you just need to crush them and make into like a powder paste kind of thing. So I'm doing it manually here, so I'm just using a ziploc bag and putting the Oreos inside, so that I will use a rolling pin to actually crush them, and that works fine as well. So it's up to you if you like to do it the easier way or the harder way. If you have the processor, it's much easier and faster. You can just crush them into almost like a powder, almost like a powder kind of paste. So you don't have to be perfect or anything like that, because you're still gonna mix it with butter in order to make it the base. Once you are done, you can just put it into a bowl, and then you can add your butter and mix the Oreos powders with the butter in order to prepare put it on the pan later. After combining the Oreos and the butter together, and once it's well mixed, then you can just get your pan. You can put your baking paper, up to you. Here I'm actually run out of it, and it's quite hard to find where I am right now, so I'm actually just using it without the baking paper. So of course it's up to you. I'm just adding the Oreos to the pan, and then just make sure that once you put it in the pan, you can refrigerate it. There is an option to bake it as well, but I think it's fine, you don't have to if you don't want to, because we are still going to bake it later. Once you're done, you can just place it in your fridge, and then throughout the time that you're actually preparing the cheesecake. So get your mixing bowl and add in your cream cheese, which is room temperature. And then you can add in the sugar as well. You can prepare your beater so that you can use your beater to mix both the cream cheese and the sugar to combine. Next, once you are done with these two items, you can add in your vanilla essence or vanilla extract, and then you can add in your heavy cream as well, and then you can continue mixing for a bit. Now it kind of gets creamy kind of consistency, so you see it's sticking to the beater. And then now you can add in the eggs. So this recipe, I'm actually using it as a half. I'm halving the recipe because the full recipe requires double the ingredients, which I didn't want to make that much, so I'm actually halving the ingredients. And they actually initially required 3 eggs and 1 yolk, so here I'm actually adding 2 eggs and 1 yolk. So the outcome turned out just fine. It was really yummy and delicious. So just add in your eggs and continue mixing, and do add in one and mix before you add in the other one. Okay, this part is actually something that I added. It's not in the recipe. So the Oreo fillings that you previously removed, I kept it here to add in. So I'm actually only adding half. Of course, if you want, you can add in the full thing. So I'm just using half of it and mixing it together with the batter, because I feel like it adds in a little bit more of the Oreo flavor. Next, you can prepare to add your flour. Using your beater, just continue mixing until everything is fully combined and looks good before you can start to add the next and last item. Will be the crushed Oreos. Just crush depending on how you like it. So I'm just crushing it like in maybe 4s or something, so that it still stays in the cheesecake. It's not that small, and it still you have quite a bit of in each different section. So it's up to you on how small or how big you want it. I actually got 2 packets of Oreos, so it's like a circular kind of packaging, and I'm using 2 different. So one exactly I use for the base, and one I'm using here for to include in the batter. So up to you. I think this part is it's just how much you want to add in. It's definitely up to you. You want less, of course, add in less. If you want more, then just add in more. And then just make sure that you coat all the Oreos that you added in with the batter. And then the next step will be just to remove your pan from the fridge and add this batter onto the pan, and you can go on to the next step, which will be baking. When I'm always making cakes, I always tend to taste the batter or eat the batter because I really like it, and of course I don't recommend that, but I can't help myself. So this was really good. I really love cheesecake, and Oreo cheesecake was the first cheesecakes that I ever made. So this is another recipe. I kind of lost the first recipe that I had. I couldn't find it, but this tasted similar. It's just that the baking at the end, it became too brown. I'm not sure it's because I left it too long, but I followed the time of the recipe. So the inside still tasted as fine, but of course the outside looks too brown. Sometimes the baking cheesecakes actually tend to be brown, but don't judge a book by its cover. It definitely tastes really good, and my friends and everyone said that it's really nice. So if you want to, do make it and let me know how you feel. And that's all for my video, guys. See you in my next video. Bye, guys.
She likes chocolate covered strawberries and wine. She likes notes that say I love you all the time. Roses at your